You know what it felt like? No disrespect to you, but it felt like you added fuel to the fire. That's what people feel like. They're like, yo, Vlad added fuel. Even though a rapper's gonna come up here and the artist is gonna come up here and say whatever they want to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you talk about a person that you killed, right, online, and rest in peace to BTP Savage and the dude that got killed, because I stay out of the politics. Rest in peace. Just we need to stop the violence. Period. But when he talked about the murder, 4 days later he got killed, and then standing in the blood too with the pictures.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to understand the internet could add fuel to the fire with stuff. That's how people felt about you. Like, yo, fuck Vlad. I seen a lot of fuck Vlad.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is WD3, and this is your Hill Report news break. Well, I hope you guys are having a great Thursday, right? A winning Thursday. But what I want to talk to you guys about today is VladTV. It's been noticed throughout a lot of the people in the black community. Some people are calling him what they term a culture vulture. Some people are saying that he's a fed and that everybody who goes on his show ends up getting arrested and put in jail. And a lot of times these guys are facing long sentences. But I would say they have a choice whether or not to go on this show. They really do. If Vlad called me today and said, hey, do you want to go on my show? I would tell him no, because I don't believe in his mission and I don't support his platform. But I have noticed that he gets millions of views, which is valuable for any entertainer, any up and coming entertainer. They need the attention. He doesn't pay them to be on his show, but these guys usually go on to be more successful once they get on his show and get that attention. But a lot of these guys enjoy their success from a jail cell. I would say, in Vlad's defense, that he's not interviewing saints. He's not going into your Israelite Hebrew church and picking out someone who is doing good in the community and highlighting them. No, he's highlighting people who probably already had reputations in the streets in the first place, probably already have been implicating themselves through their art in crimes. And what he does through his questioning is he'll ask you a question about your past, and what you have to do is decide: do I abandon my street credibility, or do I protect my legal rights to not incriminate myself? So a lot of these guys, they want to talk about the music, they want to talk about the art, but what ends up happening is they're asked questions about street crimes and things that can implicate them and cause harm to their freedom. But I'll tell you this: sometimes you have to realize, like in dominoes, we used to play dominoes with the old timers, and they would say, all money is not good money. Sometimes all attention and all interviews are not good interviews. There are some platforms that you can go on that would strictly focus on your art. Maybe you should use your management team to decipher and use some discernment on, should I go and seek this attention, or knowing what has happened in the past with others. One thing I didn't like with Vlad is how he was very dismissive of Jaguar Wright. I think Jaguar Wright has things to say that sheds light on a lot of the artists that we can't get close to, that she knows personally. And I think him going on Piers Morgan and basically calling her, anytime somebody says you're a conspiracy theorist, then that term was created to cover up the JFK assassination. I have no respect for anybody who labels someone a conspiracy theorist, because guess what? You're dismissive and you're insulting. But I will tell you what, Vlad, I am against your platform, period. Comment, comment, comment. It's the Hill Report News Break. I got some clips for you where other people are against this platform too.
Absolutely. I just don't know why they are. It's been happening in front of everyone's faces for decades. For decades.
How many victims?
What's the difference between me and Judy Garland? Social media.
How many victims?
There was none for her.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim?
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Pierce.
Listen, like I said, Jay-Z and Beyonce are not here, unfortunately, to respond to that.
I know. I'm just being honest with you.
No, you're perfectly entitled to your views, obviously. Kim Porter,
Yes.
a new book claims that Diddy may have been involved in her early death. What do you think of that?
I think people should really look into that more. I am friends with Albie Shore. I love him. I love his children. I knew Kim. We used to all hang out together at the Kit Kat Club back in the mid-90s when Diddy was first starting his reign. I watched that whole thing happen. And everything that Albert has been through, every attempt on his life that has been ignored by the authorities, it all leads back to Diddy. And everyone knows it. The wiretapping of the phones, putting AirTag on children during visits. These are normal practices that these people do.
Jaguar, I've got to leave it there. I really appreciate you joining me. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
It's at the root of the issue between you and Vlad. Really. Like, it's, you know.
I told you,
Seems like it's something a little more than
I had to check him before because he's a culture vulture, and I think he's a fed. And, you know, he wants to make money off the dysfunction of our culture. For me, I'm like, yo, he's easy work. A white man trying to talk about black culture, illegal things, or trying to trigger people to say things and make money off it. That's traditionally what they do. When he was telling me his business model, I'm like, yo, you interview people and you make money off traffic, but do you pay the people you interview? And he said, no. And I culture vulture. And stop acting like a big cat and you a fucking kitten. The algorithm that you represent isn't really that positive. So my algorithm is inspiration, not desperation.
All right, here we go. I definitely appreciate you coming in and talking with me.
Thanks for having me on, Vlad.
What you do is, I think, the hardest job in the world. TikTok? Well, before we get into anything else, what happened?
What happened is I just started doing TikToks.
Yeah. Huh. Then you end up getting busted for a DUI.
No.
Yeah, you got three years probation and have to take an alcohol education class.
No, that wasn't me.
Yep. How did that hit you?
Vlad, you know every guest that comes on is not a criminal, right?
Okay, so at what point did your house get raided?
That's what happens whenever culture vultures are involved. Whenever someone is even perceived as that, they can't be super opinionated on the culture. Even if their culture vulture narrative is not true, it doesn't matter. If the general consensus is that this person is a culture vulture, such as DJ Vlad, they can't be too opinionated. And if they are, they better be giving positive opinions, not opinions that denigrate one of their own.